FOG Andrew here, and the coach here from Family of Gamers. Welcome, Wargamers, to an exciting, awesome episode. So, we're here in the outdoor bunker once again.
We have the murder birds behind us.
Yes, and we are, in fact, bulling. What is on the menu for the bull?
Oh, I keep saying it, but we've been doing this. An Ave Maria Argentinum. It is it's a very high quality cigar.
Yes.
Because life is too short to play crappy games and have crappy cigars. So
yes, and this is pretty good so far.
It is. So it's a short commitment, but
yep. So there's a lot kind of going on this week, much like how Mantic is doing the Summer of Sci-Fi for their sci-fi games. This is kind of like the week of Mantic. We cover a bunch of different games on the channel, but a lot of the stuff we do cover is Mantic games related. Especially this week, you had the Vault video come out for
June,
mm-hmm. which was I think the end of last week.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had the Hand of the Seven overview theme list. Then we talked the Night Stalkers coming into Deadzone and Firefight, and also talked about a lot of other stuff. So check that video out after this one, because we've only had that video up for a little bit, and we've got a lot of great comments and feedback on that video. And that was a very, very good video, in my opinion. I had a lot of fun with that video. But for this video, I think we want to kind of talk about something a little interesting, because so far they've done, for Deadzone, they've done the Arias contract, the Tercia Revolutionaries, and then they've come out for June,
mm-hmm.
the Hand of the Seven themed Deadzone lists. And the question, as you can see in the title of the video, is, are themed lists good for Deadzone?
Mm. So the theme of this video
is
themed
lists. So I guess you want to explain what the themed lists are, in case people don't know what they are.
So we were doing theme lists, but we're not going to talk about that right now. The theme list from Mantic is, they have some models, and what they've been doing is, okay, so we're going to have a theme list, 200 points, which that's where Deadzone should play.
Birds are going crazy behind this.
I don't care what the Deadzone the podcast says. The sweet spot is 200 points. Yes. So they are coming out with a list where it's 200 points. They're going to give you exactly what you can take, and that's it.
Yeah.
So you can't add grenades or AP ammo or stun shots or anything. What you see is what you get.
Yep.
200 points, get to 10. The nice thing is that you're getting in the vault, which is if you don't know, the vault is where all the STL files are, which comes out monthly. You'll get that, and then in conjunction with the companion app, you just have all the rules in there already. So
yeah.
The list is there. You print them up, you paint them, you get them on the table. That I will say business model, I think is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting the stuff, you print it up, and you have the list ready to go. So I think that in and of itself is pretty good.
I remember back in the day, you had the whole Excel sheets.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, we're gonna play a game of Deadzone. All right, now we gotta copy and paste this row into here, and then we made lists that way, which was great. But now we don't have to do that. We have
then Battlescribe came along.
Yes, and then you had Battlescribe.
Battlescribe Battlescribe was awesome. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't always totally accurate, because the guy who made Battlescribe, it was just a program.
Yeah.
And then the community did the stats and stuff. The only thing is that I would have done it. I just really don't know how. I didn't know how to do it.
Right.
That was good. And then there was another one that came out that was $2.99 a month or something like that. I don't remember the name. I know Jack was doing it, and then the official Mantic companion came out, which is really good.
Yeah, the companion app is awesome, easy to use, and we're not just saying this here.
We're not sponsored by
we're
Mantic.
not sponsored by Mantic or anything, but just
You could tell we're not sponsored by Mantic for two things. Number one, if they do something good, we'll praise it. If something's not good, we just say we don't like it.
Yes,
and that's the way it should be, because nothing in the world is perfect. So, but we do like them. We like the guys over there. So, and we do enjoy the games. Deadzone is our favorite game. If you've watched our top 5 list, spoiler alert, Deadzone was number 1. So, that's why we do it. So that's why I think we take this to heart so much, because it is our favorite game.
I mean, also it's like, when you think about it, I've been playing Deadzone literally half of my life.
Literally half my life. So that'd be 1/5 of my life, I think.
I guess so,
okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's a long time.
Yeah. So, but that being said, the companion app's awesome, very easy to use, and then
it's about time.
And you could use it as a PDF and then just have everything there.
What's nice too is you could actually, people put lists up, or I'll send you something like, check out what I did, and we compare lists and stuff.
Right.
I say, oh, you should take this, and he says, oh, I'm making this one. What do you think? And it's a good, it's good. It's good. So, also, it's a good way that we kind of keep in touch with each other a lot during the day.
But so that being said, the theme lists, like I said, Arias, Tercia, Hand of the Seven, or the Hot Seven, as you were saying.
Yeah, well, I won't take credit. Somebody in the comments said, he said, Hand of the Seven, and he's like HOT7. I was like, oh, it's the Hot Seven,
The Hot Seven.
Yeah, which I actually really like. I really like that list. I went over it. I really did like it. They brought back some stuff that I missed, like tag and whatnot.
Well, it's prey.
It's tag. Okay.
So, but anyway,
Mama call him tag. I'm a call him tag.
So that all being said, we've had kind of an ongoing saga with the theme list going on. We did Arias. We did that battle report. It was you versus my killer Maison list.
Monster.
And
Maison
speaking
list.
of which, they destroyed the Arias. Spoiler alert. Then we did the Tercia against that same exact Maison list. And they fared pretty well against that Maison list compared to the Arias. We have not played the Hot 7 yet, but
that's coming soon.
Hopefully that will be on the horizon for us. But overall, what is, like, are you a yay or a nay for theme lists?
Well, we should go over pros and cons, and then we can give our judgment at the end. I think that's the best thing. So like I said, the business model is pretty good. All right. Seasoned veteran guy coming into it, has a printer, started doing, Mantic games, which is, some people, it's nice because a lot of guys, like, we started at 40K, but it was just, it's very daunting to start. Like Kings of War. Like right now, I'm working on Kings of War, and we want to play Ambush. And you're right, but it's still, I'm painting like 60 models.
Right. For
an army, it's maybe 120 models. It's daunting as a hobbyist.
Right.
And I'm a veteran hobbyist, and it is daunting. So you want to play skirmish level game. Okay, Ambush is skirmish level, but it's even bigger. I want to go a little smaller sci-fi, play Deadzone. I have a printer, print this list up. It's kind of plug and play. It's right there. You don't have to make a list. You don't have to learn how to make a list. You go with the list. So I think that's a pro. Using models that have been sitting on the shelf for 3 years, 4 years. When did Star Saga come out? Approximately
2019, 18?
It's
I think it was around 18.
It's BC, definitely BC, right?
Yeah,
before COVID. So let's say it might even be before that. I'll check I'll check on the Kickstarter. But those guys have been sitting around, and I remember that when Star Saga came out, actually it might be even earlier than that, because when we did Outbreak, all those guys were in there as mercs.
Yeah.
So that was a while ago. So they were all included in there. So then the new 3.0 came out, and they weren't in there,
right?
Which is a little, some of the guys were in there with as living legends.
Yeah.
But
that was one of the things that kind of disappointed me. Some of my favorite guys like Wrath or even the Survivor. I love that model. I really like the Survivor model.
Well, he's an OG.
Yeah,
He's
no,
he's an
I mean,
old metal.
Same thing with Wrath.
Wrath.
OG.
Well, Wrath,
dude,
but Wrath is an OG dude. Did get another model with Star
Well,
Saga,
with Star Saga,
like
yeah.
Nastanza.
Yeah,
Got another model.
another, Nastanza and stuff like that. But it was kind of, it's disappointing that, like, you can take them in Outbreak, or whichever, I think it was Outbreak, that was the book, and then going to now third edition, it's like, oh yeah, we only kept like some of the guys. Now, kind of stinks because I wanted to play Wrath. And we'll get to it though, but like, now I can play Wrath technically, with the Arias contract.
But the Arias contract is not like it's not one of the better lists, I will say.
Yeah.
So,
and also that whole thing with the mercs, like taking, what was it? It was like the different tiered mercs. To this day I still don't understand it.
I understood it. I never liked it.
Yeah.
I just said that to make I wanted to make it easier, but I was overruled.
Right.
The tier list was silly. I did like the thing that you were able to take kind of troops like cannon fodder.
Yeah.
So you could, but it was cool because you could take a Brocker and a Kalishi,
Right.
or like that, and it was pretty good. One of the things I liked, which wasn't in there, was like Howlet, Forward Observance. Why would they weren't being mercs? Those guys are just way too they're enforcers. They're the hand of that 7. Because if you know the lore, the corporations use the GCPS. When the hand of 7 needs something done, they send the enforcers out because those are the elite of the elite.
Right.
So why would those guys turn against anybody and become mercs? I never understood.
And that's why I like the living legend system in 3rd edition now, because it's like, it was also in
second.
Right. I can take Simmons, Dr. Gail Simmons in Plague and Maison.
Right.
Or I can take Howlet in Just Enforcers.
Right.
Like, it all makes sense. Why would Howlet work with the Plague? Why would Howlet? Because then it's like, oh, now you have to introduce like a thing where it's like, no, well, like Howlet can only work in these factions, or can't work in the. Then it, now it gets like a little convoluted.
But also you can get into like a narrative thing. Like, say there's the Plague out there, and there's Asterians and some enforcers, and it's like, say you're playing a 200-point list, we're taking 100 and 100. And it's like, all right, well, we're enemies, but we got to kill the Plague, and then we'll figure it out after.
Right.
So, you could do some narrative things like that. But as far as just straight up games,
yeah.
The main thing is using the models that you have.
Yeah.
And if you don't have them, I think that was the thing. Like, they weren't making certain models anymore, or they weren't printing, whatever certain models are, like Freya or stuff like that.
Freya.
Yeah. And now with the vault, it's good. You could play the guys that you don't have, or like like us, like we have them already, but there's some new guys in there. Like the Hot 7 came out with there's like 3 or 4 in there that never came out before. It's the I don't remember the names, but the Pathfinder, and then the Pathfinder on the bike. But then you're taking Recon, you're taking Howlet, you're taking the Monarch, like all my. Right. It's real. That one's pushing all my buttons, man.
Right.
So
now I will say, all that's well and good, but I will say one con for doing the theme list is that, like, the vault and the companion go hand in hand, and you could have the companion without the vault, but now you come out with these themes lists, it's very, like, inaccessible for people that are just getting into it. And let's say you don't have a 3D printer. Well, Arias, Tercia, and Hot 7, all basically nothing. You can't do anything with them. They're just there, and now it's like, oh, they're in the vault. Well, I don't have a printer. Now, obviously, it is, for the stuff we do and everything, it's definitely worth it that we have printers, and we're fortunate enough to have those printers. But here's the thing: those people, they can't play that. They can't play these theme lists without those models. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Because now most of them are either out of print or new, or like Tercia had guys from Dreadball. Well, where the hell is Dreadball?
Well,
I can't really buy those Dreadball
I think
models.
Dreadball's out there, but like you'd have to maybe eBay or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
But then again, so, somebody could ask like, "Hey, coach, can you do me a favor and print me a some dude from Dreadball?"
Right.
Like,
Right. I get that. But you have some guy in, Wisconsin or something. He's, getting into Deadzone. Oh, what's the Tercia Revolution? Oh, well, who are these guys? And then you look into, oh, well, they're in the vault. Well, I don't have a printer. Okay, I don't know. It's
at
like,
that point you proxy too. You can
right.
proxy.
But it's like, at least for me, it's like I want to have those models.
I get
and
it.
so I
but the
think,
whole point of the vault is the fact that like it's giving people who do have an opportunity.
Right.
No.
I think I 100% get that. I'm just saying that's like kind of a con for
it's
these
definitely
theme lists,
well, that's a pro and a con, because it's a con if you don't have it, but if you do have a printer, it's a plus.
Right.
So it goes both ways. So that one is like a 50-50. That's a con to. I'll say it's 50-50. If you have a printer, great. If not, then
right.
You know what's up. You know what I'm saying?
Right. What I do want to see is like theme lists that aren't just all named characters in Mercs. I want to see some theme lists that are maybe like something specific.
See, but but I look at it where there's a theme list that they're making and they're coming out with these guys. I don't really need them to make me have a theme list, because if you look at our last 10 battle reports, it has been theme lists.
Well, yeah.
So we have the ability to do it.
But I would like to see.
But here,
I would like to see like let's just for argument's sake, a Marauder list like we did in that one battle report where it's the snipers and
it was all goblins
and the goblin snipers, the half track with the goblins, the grunt bots, and mobbies. That's a cool theme list for all goblins. I would like to see that, but maybe instead of just a grunt bot leader, it's like just some random name character that they just make up, or they give new specialized operations to, like they've been doing. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, the goblin snipers kind of suck.
But I think the special operations is a good idea. That's a 4.0.
Yeah.
Or a 3.5. That's a 4.0.
Right.
I do like the special operations. Hey, listen, you know what? Not for nothing.
I think the specialized operations are a good idea.
But not for nothing. When I was doing those lists and we did them in the back of the book, and I did the Howlet list, we were doing special operations where it's like he like say Howlet unlocks an ability, or we did where that you could take peacekeepers as troops before they were made troops.
Right.
And like, because you take this leader, you unlock that.
Right.
All right. So that's a good thing. With Howlet, he gave his thing was like, one of the things was I'm not sure if it was in the book, but like everybody in his army got an extra frenzy, because he had a specialized group and whatever. I kind of like that.
Right.
Although no one's making Howlet a leader, because one of the guys, I think it was Claudio or Clive, said that well, he's going to exchange leadership for savagery. But I look at it where he's training guys, and those are his dudes, and they go out like a Navy SEAL team, or like your SAS team for the guys in England. Those are bad mamma jammas. So like, but they're training with a certain guy, and that guy, the leader, is that the one they follow. So
right.
But a theme list can be made by yourself.
Yeah.
And here's the beauty, and we've done this a lot. You make a theme list, and you say, okay, we've done this not on camera. Like, all right, before peacekeepers were troops, I was like, I'm going to take a whole army of peacekeepers as troops. And you took something that I forgot what it was, but you took guys that were actually specialists as troops, and we just did that, and it was great. You can do whatever the frick you want, really. I've always said that from the get-go, but the thing is that what a lot of guys kind of do is pigeonhole themselves into, if it's not in the book, it's not legal.
Right.
Okay, it may not be legal, but you know what? We're sitting around smoking cigars, having fun. We put a Deadzone board out, and we say, okay, I'm going to take no force org. Take a leader, get a tack thing, and I take 3 Striders and 4 Snipers.
Right.
Okay, whatever the points are, we're 300 points. We're going to do that. Okay, then you say, okay, well, I'm going to take the Plague Lord and 70 zombies against you guys. Okay, that's street legal, but you can do that. Let's say you take, whatever, a bunch of zombies and or you do the you take 5 Hulks as troops
or 10 Teratons.
Right.
Like,
yeah, like that. And you just do that. That's a good theme list too. It's not part of the game, but you could have some fun with it too.
Right.
Like a no Force Orc theme, which is, we've done that a bunch of times. That's like crazy. You just go points. Like, well, I took 3 Iron Ancestors. Well, that's unbeatable. Well, but the thing is, you're only filling up 200 points. You can't.
Right.
You know what I mean? You do whatever you want.
I get what you're saying 100%, but we can do whatever we want. But then it's like, why make this video? You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
It's like what is what are the theme lists that Mantic is gonna do?
Right.
You know what I mean? So them bringing back the mercs is, I'm all for these theme lists.
Me too.
Now, I remember I made a point to you off camera when we were talking about this stuff. Like, I would have liked to see these theme lists like in 2023.
Right.
Because in 2023, I don't think I know you and you did the Deadzone tournament for Adepticon in 2023, but I didn't play a single game of Deadzone in 2023. Not one game. Okay? If they did these themed lists, okay, let's break out the Deadzone board then. Let's play some Deadzone.
So it would motivate you to play.
Yeah. So it's like,
so in that instance, that's a really good pro.
Right.
Okay.
So but that's what I'm saying. Like, now it's like with this, I get it's the summer of sci-fi, but it's like you get the theme lists and then the Night Stalkers are coming. It's like, all right, there's all these new Deadzone stuff coming out. It's like, well, it would have been good when there was a lull last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? When there's a lull in like no new stuff, no new nothing.
Well, so when
you know what I mean? It would have been nice to have this stuff last year when there was nothing.
But when I spoke to Ronnie about it, what he said is that Mantic's actually a small company, and last year the big thing was the new Firefight stuff.
Right.
And they were coming out with, like, say, new Marauder models.
Right.
And you can get them in 4 Deadzone also. So it's kind of a ripple effect, like what happens in, like, they came out with Firefight. We went over the whole thing. I don't want to beat a dead horse again, but they came out with the models for the Night Stalkers. We're like, bet. All right. There's no Deadzone set. All right. It's only for Firefight. Okay. All right.
So far.
So far.
At the time of recording this.
But it's like, it's a ripple effect, because what they'll do is they'll probably grab a few sprues or like a sampling of it, put it into a Deadzone box and say, here you go.
Right.
Now, my humble opinion is just buy the Firefight box, even if you don't play Firefight.
Right.
And then you could use that for Deadzone.
Right. Because if you notice, right, the Firefight starter set doesn't come with like the big flyer.
Yeah. Well, that's extra.
Right. But what I'm saying is, it's like, yeah, you could buy the Firefight starter box, and then let's say you only play Deadzone, pretty much like us. You could buy the Firefight starter set and not have a flyer for the Night Stalkers that you will never use
in Deadzone.
Because it's probably not going to be in Deadzone.
So essentially for us, that's a Deadzone starter.
But there's a bunch of stuff in it. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like,
but all of that stuff can fit into Deadzone.
Right.
It's not exclusively Firefight. I think that's the way to go, because honestly, I would get the start of the booster, and then the add-on thing. So I'm going to pay $100.
Let's say they do a bunch of Deadzone boxes. At some point in the future, a couple months down the line, we're probably going to get that stuff, like enough stuff from those Deadzone boxes to just have bought the Firefight box. You know what I mean? So you might as well just buy the Firefight box at that point.
Getting back to the theme list.
Anyway, getting back to the theme list. So I'm a yay for
me too.
Theme list.
Definitely.
100%. I think the theme lists are great.
But here's the thing too. Here's a pro to it too. You don't have a 3D printer. You have you have a companion app. You see this theme list. Okay, well, you know what? Maybe I have the theme list that comes out. I have half of these, half of these, half of these. Like having Howlet, Monarch, and from the Hot 7. Say you have those two models. You're like, all right, I have these models. There's a sniper in it. He's just a generic sniper from the Deadzone. Originally, he's like that sniper is the OG sniper. That's the guy that comes in the box with the plague,
Right.
big sword. That's the OG sniper. So you probably have that. Okay, you have those two. Let's say recon has been out there, so you can get it. So you have, let's say, 3 or 4 models. Okay, so I'm gonna get recon. I'll just get a Pathfinder. The other two are Pathfinders. One's on the bike. All right, I have a bike. I'll proxy it. You could play it. I think this might motivate somebody to be like, you know what? I like this theme list. You know what? I'm gonna make my own theme list. And you start making, Colonel Jones. What does he do? Well, here you go. Well, this and it increases your creativity, and it makes you more narrative, and it makes it more fun.
Right.
So you can do stuff like that.
Yeah.
I see that as a positive too. You don't have to get stagnant and just stay in the realm of whatever. You can play whatever you want. Now, when you play tournaments, I agree that it should go by the book. You should be street legal. Will the theme list be allowed in tournaments? I don't see why not.
Mm-hmm.
They're not that overpowered so far. I mean, I haven't played Hot 7 yet, but they're not overpowered where you can't take them.
Right.
They might even be a disadvantage because you're only taking a small model count.
Right.
It's really up to you.
Right.
I don't have a problem with that doing it, but I understand that in tournaments you should go by the book.
Yeah.
Say you take football. One game you do this, but now it's like, okay, you could play this game, but you can't throw the pass forward. Let's say you're playing a rugby match on the pitch. You can, instead of only throwing it sideways, you can throw it forward. You change the parameters of the game. I don't like that.
Right.
The game is set. Now I understand. Coach, in the real world, yes, I know in the real world. In the real world, anything can happen. This is not the real world. This is a 2x2 square that we play, and we sit as a social contract that 2 people are going to sit across from each other and follow certain rules. And what I like to do is try to break the rules, or not break the rules. Use the rules to my advantage so that I can get a one leg up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Deadzone though has a good balance to it, so there's really there is usually a counter for everything. Now, if you make a crappy list, that's on you. If somebody brings the heat, like your Monster Maze on list, as a player, I got to figure out how to counter something like that.
Right.
So in the tournament setting, I'm thinking okay, what if a guy takes 2 aberrations? What am I going to do for that? All right, I should take a missile launcher. I should take this. I should take some suppression stuff. I should maybe if my army has a little psychic to it where I can I can stun him, or take some stun grenades. So you got to figure it out.
Yeah.
So that's where I say with that, theme lists are good because you can I like it because it's plug and play, and it's just something different. It kind of it reinvigorated us to do some stuff creatively as a painter. The Tercia list with all the stuff I didn't have, and I painted them, and it's a good thing. So
right.
I'm wondering what they're going to do next month already. I didn't even finish Hot 7. I just printed them. What's next? There's a bunch of guys who we're missing, like the Hellfather or the Living Legends and stuff.
Hellfather, bring back Freya.
Freya should be brought back.
Hellfather and Freya team up.
The dwarves of whatever. Maybe put Crescison in there as that, as a theme list. The royal family or something like that.
Right.
But you see, I just wrote a theme list.
Yep.
So, could be done.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But I like it. I think it's a great idea. I like what they're doing. It's a good selling point because it's I was thinking about getting in 3D printing. I have the vault. I have all these things. I know there are certain people that I've spoken to who have the vault, have all the files, and they don't have a printer.
Yeah.
So why are you doing this?
Right.
Oh, I want to make sure that when I get a printer, I have stuff to print.
Right.
Right. Let me just clue you in on something. If you get a printer, there's going to be tons of files you have. So the pile of shame that people I call a pile of opportunity, but the pile of shame, I have terabytes of shame. But it's okay. It's okay because I got a bunch of stuff that now we started playing Kings of War. Oh, I started printing Kings of War stuff.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know.
Right. It's
So
like oh let's get into Kings of War. I remember we were at Adepticon. It was like I want to get it. I got the ambush starter set for the goblins, and I was gonna get the Forces of Nature ambush set. But then you were like, oh well, it's all in the vault anyway. I'm like, oh all right, so then we'll just print it. Yeah, we'll just print it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. So.
Right. Right. So, I mean, yeah. Overall, themeless, I think, are good for Deadzone.
Yeah, fantastic.
It's keeping
even the
bad game. It's keeping the game kind of alive.
Yeah,
you know
and
what I mean?
it's fresh. Even the bad list, because honestly, we had something to talk about. Listen, the Arias contract was not. It wasn't good.
Yeah.
But, and then they did an update, which really didn't help. In my opinion, didn't really help.
Well, they gave Kirby Rapid Fire.
Okay, well then there you go.
That helped.
I don't know. See, that would have really came in handy.
Yeah, against my aberration.
But
100%.
I think that it's good either way because it just gets us talking.
Right.
Even if it's bad, it gets us talking.
Right.
About this and gets us excited. Excuse me, about playing more games and just but playing it in a fun way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of why I took a step back from tournament play, and I wanted to focus on just having a little bit of fun and being more creative with stuff. So
right.
That's but it's still just, I mean, like as far as Deadzone, I'm always ready to play.
Yeah.
I haven't hit my lull yet. I have not hit the lull yet.
I was in the lull.
You're in a melange
for a bit.
Yes.
For like about a year and a half maybe. Again, like I said before, didn't play at all.
But also too, there was a personality reason for that. Too.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff going on, and I just
at
that time I just had no.
There was
interest.
Something going on that we're not going to mention.
Right, but I just had no interest. But like you said, themeless. It's keeping Deadzone fresh. You know what I mean for people.
And also it shows that. All right. We went on to the whole thing about like the Reb models and stuff, so you should definitely check out the State of Mantic video we did. We talked for a long time about a lot of things, but in your case, it's like, well, the army that the faction I love is not coming out, but there's stuff coming out. So it's like, all right, I'm sure it'll come around.
Right.
And
hashtag bring back Rebs. Put in the comments below. Hashtag bring back Rebs.
No, you don't have to.
No, you have to.
So, but it shows you that there's love for the game.
Yeah.
They're throwing some stuff at the game, some info and whatnot.
Right.
And it's important to do that because it shows that, like, okay, all right, maybe they're not coming out with big releases, but these little things here, okay. Every month we come out with a new list. I could dig that because if they come out with one every month, a year from now we'll have 12 lists.
Right.
So like, all right, well let's see if the the Triton Terrors would do against the Arias contract. Let's see the Hot 7 versus the
see now it's giving people more opportunities instead of doing Arias versus Maison or Tercia versus Plague or Hot 7 versus Astarians. Now you do Hot 7 versus Tercia, Arias versus Hot 7.
If there's enough lists that come out, you can run a tournament with just those lists.
Only that'd be cool too. Like
a themed tournament throwdown.
Right.
We're
giving you guys these ideas
this
for
is
free.
Gold. This is gold coming out here. You know what though? As one of the, I like to say, I'm not going to say pioneer or leader, but like one of the guys that's out there for Deadzone, I would run something like that if there was enough interest and whatever, and I would print up stuff for people if they didn't have it, I just like giving away stuff because it doesn't, right. To my detriment, I'm giving away free models, but I could care less. I'd rather just have a good time and play,
Yeah.
That's why we smoke cigars. It's not even that I like smoking cigars. I like the fellowship of the students. That's why we have the outside bunker. That's why we play games and smoke and hang out, and that's what you really should be doing. So a theme list can bring more people to the table.
Yeah,
it's only a good thing.
Right.
I mean, look, like myself, Ryan, and Fabian were playing a lot of Deadzone, and you were not. And then it's like you back. Now we're in full force. We got 4 guys playing, just the 4 of us playing.
Right. Right.
and we like to expand that. If anybody's in New York, just let us know. Hit us up in Discord or hit us up here. We'll meet you somewhere. We'll play Deadzone. I met a bunch of guys out further east, and it was, they were into Deadzone, so I was like, brought some stuff out there, and then football season hit, and I got into my usual football coma of no games and whatever. So.
Right. But let us know what you think about themed lists down in the comments below. And also, if you go to our link tree, which is in the description of this video, you can check out our social media pages, our Patreon page, which if you feel so inclined to donate, you can donate to the channel. Helps us out very much. And our link to our podcast is in there. But also, our link to our Discord server, where we have a lot of conversations with people like you and just everybody that is,
There's a lot of Deadzone talk, a lot of hobby talk, a lot of good stuff.
Yes, we have a lot of great conversations in the Discord server.
If you could do us a favor and subscribe if you're not subscribed, and give us a thumbs up, that helps us get the message out. We want to get more people into Deadzone because we think it is the best skirmish game around. Also, I know with Halo coming out, this is going to be something big, but I think that the core Deadzone fans, we need to circle the wagons a little bit, and get playing a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. But there's also videos on the screen here that you can check out that will recommended videos and stuff like that.
You should definitely
plenty of Deadzone content.
Definitely
on the
watch
channel.
this one. This one's good.
This one's also good on whatever.
Well, go this one, then go that.
Yeah, either or. But yeah, guys, that is it for this video. Again, comment down below. Let us know what you think about themed lists for Deadzone. You think it's a good idea or not? We'll see you in the next one.